Rain. Not just rain, but a torrential downpour. A curtain of water that transformed the city into a blurry, impressionistic painting. Streetlights were feeble glimmers, their glow swallowed by the deluge. The taxi's windshield wipers worked frantically, battling against the onslaught, but barely holding their own. Inside, I sat tense, drumming my fingers against the worn leather seat. We were late. Terribly late. The driver, a man with a weathered face and tired eyes, navigated the treacherous streets with a practiced hand. He mumbled something about the weather, about how it was unusual even for this time of year. I barely registered his words, my mind a whirlwind of worry. This meeting, this presentation, it was everything, my one shot. And now, thanks to the weather, it was all about to slip away. The knot in my stomach tightened with every tick of the clock. A screech of tires, a blinding flash of white, the sickening crunch of metal colliding with metal. Then, darkness. An oppressive, suffocating darkness. The world, which moments ago had been a symphony of rain and city sounds, went eerily silent. Then, slowly, the sounds returned, but they were different now. Grotesque, a chorus of screeching metal, shattering glass, and the insistent blare of a car horn, but these sounds seemed distant, muffled, as if I were hearing them through a thick wall. My body screamed in protest. Pain shot through every nerve ending, a searing, all-consuming agony. I tried to draw breath, but my lungs refused to cooperate. Panic seized me, cold and sharp. I was trapped. Disoriented, I fumbled blindly in the darkness, my hands encountering shards of glass and twisted metal. Each movement sent fresh waves of pain through me. I had to get out. I had to escape the crushing confines of the car. Gradually, awareness seeped back in. The rain, now a gentle drumming against what remained of the car roof. The smell of gasoline, sharp and acrid, mixing with the metallic tang of blood. My blood, I could feel it, warm and sticky against my skin. The world swam into focus. The mangled wreckage of the taxi, the flashing red and blue lights painting the rain-slicked street in an eerie glow, and the concerned faces peering in at me, their expressions a mixture of shock and pity. My ears still ringing from the impact, picked up fragments of conversation. Serious accident, lucky to be alive. Passengers. The word cut through the fog of pain and confusion. The other passengers. There had been others in the taxi with me. A wave of nausea washed over me. Where were they? Were they hurt? Worse? A surge of guilt, sharp and suffocating, tightened its grip around my chest. A hand on my shoulder. A voice calm and reassuring cut through the chaos. It's okay, son. We've got you. Just stay still. The ambulance is on its way. I clung to that voice, to the steadying pressure of the hand on my shoulder, as if it were a lifeline in a raging sea. I focused all my energy on breathing, on following the voice's instructions. Slowly, the panic began to recede, replaced by a dull throb of pain and a growing sense of unreality. The world around me was a blur of activity. Emergency responders moved with practiced efficiency, their voices a low murmur in the night. The flashing lights of the ambulance seemed to pulse in time with the throbbing in my head. Through it all, that calm voice stayed with me, a beacon of hope in the darkness. He told me his name was John, that he was a paramedic, and that everything was going to be all right. His words were simple, but they held a strange power. I clung to them, desperate to believe. As they carefully extracted me from the wreckage, I caught a glimpse of the other passengers. A young couple, their faces pale and drawn, huddled together on the sidewalk. The woman clutched a small child, her eyes wide with terror. Their faces, etched with fear and relief, swam before my eyes. The weight of their presence, of their shared experience, settled heavily upon me. We were bound by this moment, by this shared brush with mortality. I wanted to reach out to them, to offer words of comfort or apology, but no sound escaped my lips. I was trapped within myself, my own pain and fear, a barrier I couldn't seem to breach. As they loaded me into the waiting ambulance, I could feel their eyes following me, filled with a mixture of emotions I couldn't decipher. Guilt gnawed at me. This was my fault. My need, my urgency had put them all at risk.